West Africa has emerged as a crucial transit point in the trafficking of drugs from South America to Europe. VOA's Paul Ndiho has more on this growing threat to the region's stability and security.
There is a growing concern from drug enforcement agencies around the world over the role of African countries in trafficking drugs. Experts say all across the continent, countries are facing security threats as drug traffickers move cocaine, heroin, and opium through their transportation hubs. Victor Cole Showers, commander of operations at Lagos Airport, speaking recently, said drug money undermines development and leads to an increase in violent crime.
Money laundered from drug does not translate to economic prosperity.
The exploding drug trafficking problem in West Africa was taken up by the U.S. Senate Foreign Relations Committee last week. Assistant Secretary of State for African Affairs Johnny Carson said the State Department, the Defense Department, and the Drug Enforcement Administration agree on the seriousness of the threat.
We are united in our understanding about the threat drug trafficking poses to Africa and to U.S. interests, and why we must collectively boost our coordination and efforts now to prevent a tidal wave of addictions, drug-related enterprises, corruption, instability, and conflict from overwhelming Africa's shores.
Thomas Harrigan, the Drug Enforcement Administration's Chief of Operations, also warned of the growing problem.
Africa is experiencing an unprecedented rise in drug trafficking, and the growth of organized crime in Africa is an increasing national security threat, as evidenced by the assimilation of South American drug trafficking networks with African and European buyers and distributors.
All of the experts testifying at the panel warned of a dangerous convergence in West Africa of South American drug kingpins looking to sell their cocaine, terrorist groups with bases in Africa, and European buyers. The experts said cocaine is shipped from South America, often with Venezuela serving as a launching pad, broken down into smaller parcels when it arrives in Africa, and transported by African malls or individual traffickers by land and air to thriving markets in Europe. Analyst Douglas Fowler at the International Assessment and Strategy Center, a Washington-based research group, noted that Hezbollah has long maintained an operational presence in West Africa and that these groups are likely to find each other.
I think it's inevitable that these groups operating in the same permissive environments will eventually come to know each other and come to work together because each has what the other one needs. The Lebanese and Hezbollah groups control the pipelines and movement to Europe, and the cocaine traffickers provide a high-value commodity to put into that cocaine.
The experts cited Guinea-Bissau, which is often called Africa's first narco-trafficking state, as an extreme example of a country favored by drug traffickers, a place with weak law enforcement and a weak judicial system, where authorities are sometimes complicit in the trafficking. The experts agree that the United States and its European and African allies need to do more in the face of an increasing threat. Paul Ndiho, VOA News.